We're now not talking to students at universities, but those individuals that are electing the officials that we're speaking with. So those are just a few of the things that we've touched on already halfway through the semester as an association based on those original goals. And I really want to thank the Student Senate as well as the executives that have really helped see those things through to fruition. I want to talk next a little bit more at length about the House of Representatives and the way that this will really work. So as I stated, the House of Representatives is supposed to represent student organizations on this campus. Well, there's 400, so how are we going to do this? Each student organization is already divided by student activities into a subcategory. Those subcategories, there are 10 of them. Those subcategories are based on the interest or what the function of that organization is. Each of those individual subgroups will be given 4 representatives to participate in the actual House of Representatives. So this is going to be a body of 40. Now, the way that this will actually work is that your individual student organization president will have an opportunity to submit one nominee for a seat in the House, and then one other representative to be the voting party of that particular student organization. So overall, for that particular subgroup, each organization again can submit one nominee and one representative to vote. So the way that it will go from there is if there are more than 10 nominees for a particular subcategory, is that the organization presidents from that subgroup will be given the opportunity to vote for the top 10 of that body, or for that particular subgroup. So let's take Greek Life, for example, which has almost about 40 organizations. If each one of them submit one nominee, the presidents of those organizations will be given the opportunity to vote on those top 10, which will become the official candidates for the 4 seats in the House. After that, there will be a single election day, which for us will be November 12th. That on that single election day, those 10 individuals will be allowed to present themselves to the rest of the student representatives from the other organizations in Greek Life who will vote on the top 4. Those top 4 become the official representatives of all of Greek Life for the House of Representatives, and this will occur for each of the 10 subgroups. So this is a way that each individual organization can be represented based on its interest, and so that we can still have a productive structure that can coincide with the Student Senate to ensure that we're representing the students adequately on our campus based on their interest. So if you're interested in that, we will be sending out more information via student activities and OrgSync as to how that process will occur. And if you have any other questions, please address them in the caucus after the address. The next thing we wanted to talk about was another thing that passed at referendum at a student vote, which is the classroom innovation fee. So the classroom innovation fee is going to be a $5 fee per student per semester. So what we're actually looking at is around a $360,000 fee that will a $360,000 fund that will come together, that will be divided up based on a committee that will be formed that will have faculty, staff, but mostly student representation on it. The objective of this particular fee is so that teaching staff as well as faculty have an opportunity to come to the students and request funds to innovate the curriculum in their classroom so that we can have more forward thought within the classroom and also have experiences outside of the classroom that coincide with that particular program. So the other aspect and the real reason that we wanted to push this particular fee is because there are funds in place for classroom innovation. The difference is there is no way to actually have students be in control of that particular fund. So this is a way that students can actually have a process and a partnership with faculty and teaching staff so that we can actually be in control of what we mean by classroom innovation and be a part of the curriculum development process. So the next steps that we have for that particular fee, because it did pass at a student vote, so the next steps, we're going to be formulating a committee, which the Student Government Association will appoint 2 undergraduate members. The president of the Graduate Student Council will appoint 2 graduate students, and there will be faculty and staff representation that will be appointed by either the Division of Student Affairs or the Provost's office. And then going forward, we're going to, in consultation with the president, send this up to the Board of Regents to hopefully be approved to implement in the next fall. The next thing we wanted to talk about is another hot topic about the funding aspect of SGA and what we can really offer students, and that's the Eagle's Nest Fund. The Eagle's Nest Fund is a fund that SGA, along with staff from student activities, gets together to fund student organization programs. And the idea behind that is that SGA isn't a programming organization, but we are the advocate of student voice. And so what our focus is really providing the opportunity for other student organizations to program based on the needs of the students that you appeal to. So the Eagle's Nest Fund in totality has around or over $50,000 that are simply there to allocate to student organizations. Just this far in the semester, we have allocated $21,650 to student organizations for programming. In addition to that, our goal is to have $30,000 spent by the end of this semester and to completely deplete the fund for going forward for students. In the previous year for SGA, all of the money was not actually spent, and that means that SGA is not getting the word out to students. And so what our focus is going to be is really appealing to students about the resources that we have, and one of the big things that's going to assist that is the creation of the House of Representatives, because they represent those student organizations who are going to be in need of that funding. Next, the Student Government Association really focuses or really assists the university. Though we're advocates of student voice, we really work closely with administration and staff by providing them student voice. And on one of those things is serving on external committees, which is a requirement for our student senators as well as our executives. So here are some of the committees that we've really been working on, and here's some of the direction that they have went in. The first is the UNT Committee on Prevention and Education of Sexual and Intimate Partner Violence. Now, the focus of this particular committee first started with the Student Government Association in consultation with the Dean of Students, and is now housed by the Dean of Students Office under the Division of Student Affairs. And the focus of this came out of the Clery Act. And this is something that's really a hot topic on several college campuses about sexual assault and how it's really affecting our student population. So the subcommittees that have formed under that in consultation with not only faculty, staff, as well as students are the Advocacy Committee, Education and Outreach Committee, the Take Back the Night Committee, which is a major event that this particular committee is going to be putting on October 22nd. The October Committee, which October is a sexual awareness month, and one of the focuses of that is to make sure that we're providing programming out of this committee for the month of October. The April, which is another sexual awareness month, we're going to be doing the same thing. The Red Flag Campaign, which the Red Flag Campaign is a public awareness campaign designed to address dating violence